So as we mentioned, the desktop app you guys are using, this is called the Electron. It's a library name of the framework. JS means JavaScript. Okay. So the way you see that it works, if you see this, you see the multiple things here. Okay. For the desktop app, you see the HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and you also see the browser, right? You see and you see there is a node, and you see the node, and you see the IPC, and you see the main process, and you see the native UI. Understand this part. This is the core here. Either you work with the vehicle app or you use the desktop app, they have exactly worked the same way. It's a different programming language, the different layer, but their process is the same. So let's talk about this. So we are actually web portal. We have the web portal, right, where you guys log in, but we have a desktop app. So the way it works, you see this Node.js is here. So let's talk about the Node.js. JavaScript is a programming language. It was developed only for the browser behavior. Okay, but the things has changed. Now JavaScript actually work in the backend as well. So it need a runtime engine to run in the backend, and that runtime engine is called the Node.js. Node means a computer. Node means a computer. You will be hearing the node in the vehicle industry a lot because they call the ECU, they call the node. But anyway, node means a computer. Where I am running the JavaScript. That's simple, Node.js. You are running JavaScript into the server. So before that, JavaScript was not the programming language to run the business logic. It was only the everything you do on the front end. So as the Electron.js is a library, it's a Node.js library. Anything you hear, it's a Node.js library package, right? And then actually behind the scene, it is JavaScript. So what it does, you already see in the app, mobile app, or desktop app, you see, what do you see? It is actually the HTML and CSS. HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript and the API, that's what we'll be seeing. So it has the runtime engine, which is the Node.js, means user is doing anything, it hitting the Node.js right away. I don't know the IPC, I think we'll learn more details today. And the Node.js run the main process. It is very important for the CloudOps engineer to know this. This is the core. You don't know what is happening behind the scene. That's how it works, okay? And that's exactly what the API is hitting. Wherever you guys are doing anything on the front end, actually the Node.js run. Each of the backend API logic need to run because it is actually a server-side engine that make the decision. If the Node.js is shut down, your backend is not working. If the node process is shut down, your backend is not going to work. Of course, the front end is not going to work. Of course, if you build the mobile app, it's not going to work. Of course, if you build the desktop app, it is not going to work. Nothing is going to work because your engine is collapsed. Your process is stopped. So whenever you deploy a Node.js based application in the front end JavaScript, back end also JavaScript, the back end actually everything run by the Node.js. So if you want to run, if you prepare an environment on your computer, the QA does, CloudOps does. On the Windows machine or the Linux machine, you download the Node.js, install it, done. You download the package manager, install it. Your actually work is done. Your environment setup is done. Third step is, what is said? You download the code base from the GitHub and you ask the developer how to run the code base and you build the code, you are done. Basically, that's the sandbox environment for any code base. That's what you do. But for the quality assurance, they don't need to do any of this. Only certain time they do it. What is the certain time? You can actually, you are getting the app now, right? You guys are getting the direct app link from us. And then you download it, you install it. there is another way, it's called the virtual device. It's called the virtual app. In the virtual app, where you do not need to build the app actually. If you have the Android Studio, you have a virtual device. If you have the iOS programming, it gives the virtual device. Now you can tell what is the virtual device mean? Means the different mobile version, different screen size, different thing to test the application virtually, means software-based testing. And then once you find out all the issues, then you build the app. And then we'll talk about this later, the detail. But there is a software base actually installed on your computer, and there is a virtual one, which is the Android Studio and iOS. They actually provide you the thing so you can test it out. But look at this. So that's the native UI, you see that. And that's based on the 3 operating system. We do not build for the Linux because we do not have the Linux user. Linux operating system mostly used in the office environment for the server side. Windows operating system and the Mac operating system used by the employee. Employee means we are all employee in the organization. So most widely used 2 operating system in the office space, which is office space. Remember, I said that. I'm not saying anything else. Windows and the Mac. So our app has 2 versions. One code base, 2 versions. One is desktop app, Windows version, one is Mac version. That's it. So Electron.js is a library. You guys know this. And this is very important. Did I say this? Let's talk about this quickly since we are here. So React Native is also another programming, it's a JavaScript based library developed by the Facebook. They developed it and they're using it and they give it to free to the whole world. So billions of the front end is based on the React. React Native means actually the app. Whenever you call the app, we call the native, means you are actually developing the app for that either desktop or the mobile. So we are actually, for the native means we develop our mobile app using the React Native. You can call it as a Node.js library, or you can call the package manager, or you can call the framework. I think everybody call as a React Native framework. Okay, so to do this, you have to download the Node.js, you have to install the package manager, then your environment is ready. So again, the core programming language is JavaScript. So write the JavaScript for one, and they produce the app for all of this. So you see the power of JavaScript again. So that's our mobile app is not only our, millions of mobile app based on the React Native. Simple, because a company is using JavaScript, so they use JavaScript from the front end, they do the back end, they do the mobile app, they do the desktop app. What is the benefits? It's called the stack. This stack they use so they can hire only the JavaScript developer. They don't need the Python, they don't need Java, they don't need the PHP, they don't need anybody. That's the reason TS40 stack is Marn stack, means everything is JavaScript. So that I can use one developer with the short period of the timing and the training, he can do everything we want. So it's saving money. So make sure that's how a cloud of question comes. How do you actually ensure this? Tell me why we use the stack. The stack is very important because the stack is important. Your learning becomes streamlined. Your programming became the streamline. Your like a development becomes streamlined because you are using the same thing for all of your development needs, front end, back end, mobile, desktop, everything. So it's important. So our app is React Native, and we are writing the code one time. We are producing 2 versions. One is iOS, one is Android. We do not use anything else.